It's early September, and the jobs numbers in the United States have come out showing that 142,000 new jobs have been added to payrolls in August, and it's not enough. It's not what they were expecting. The jobs numbers have come up short. Now, I was reading this article this morning about jobs numbers, and I am just struck by the fact that so many of my friends and people that I know in the tech industry have experienced layoffs, being called redundant, or just are out looking for a better job in a market that is rather ruthless right now. If you are looking for a better job, if you're looking for a new job, if you're unemployed, it is the perfect time for you to take a step back and to do an assessment on yourself, to understand who you really are and what it is that you're actually looking to do. We're going to talk about that in this video. First of all, if you are new here, this is Motivation Code. Motivation Code is an assessment that helps you understand how you are motivated. It's great for teams of people, but if you are looking to be a new entrant to a team, then of course it is very helpful for you to understand yourself, especially as you are preparing yourself to go through an experience where you're being judged. Let's just call it what it is. You are looking for a new job and someone is going to assess who you are, judge you, and then determine whether or not you are a good fit for a team that already exists. If you want to learn more about Motivation Code, there is a link down below. But first, let's talk about your strategy for getting a new job and how motivation plays into it. Now, I'm going to break this up into a few stages. First of all, how to find the job that is going to meet your motivational dimensions, what you need to do with a resume, and then how are you going to interview, and then what basically is going to be your strategy once you have day one. How are you going to find fulfillment in your new job so that it has longevity, so that you can be an asset to your organization going forward, where layoffs just can't happen, where you become untouchable, where you become a high performer that everyone looks to for direction, everyone looks to in order to make things happen and get things done. But first, let's talk about that job search. You can go on LinkedIn, you can go on various job boards, and you can see many different jobs. How do you know the job that's going to be right for you? Well, of course, there's going to be aspirational jobs of like, wow, these jobs are the ones that I really would love to do. This would make mom proud. This feels good on a number of different levels. But if you don't know how you're motivated, you might find yourself in a position applying to jobs for which you have no motivation, for which you have no affinity. I'll use myself as an example. My primary motivational dimensions are visionary first, influencer second, achiever third. I like to do big things. I come up with big ideas. So a rote job where it's take a ticket, do the job, close the ticket, and just doing the same thing every day is not going to be fulfilling for me in the long run. Now, I've been around the block a few times, so I can play games with myself in order to make a repetitive job a little more interesting. I've done that before, but it's more important for me to look for a job at this point in my career to find something that is going to hit those motivational dimensions, where I can do something at more of a director level, where I can direct what I am doing. I can come up with big ideas. I can drag a few team members along with me, so I don't like to be super isolated and do things all by myself. If I have a job like that where I have director-like position and I have people that I can work with or who work for me as part of a team, and I can lead the charge towards doing some big things and making a big impact in changing people's lives, that is the perfect job for me. So here I am. So you want to look for something that's going to align with your motivational dimensions. If you have not yet taken the Motivation Code, it's a good time right now to do that assessment, to take a look at yourself and look at what motivates you. Let's say, for example, you are an optimizer and you're looking for jobs it's very important to set up process. Those types of things are going to be incredibly fulfilling for you. So you want to see those types of words in a job description, so you make sure that your primary dimensions are being activated in that role. Once you have the jobs identified that you want to apply to, it's important that your resume highlights what motivates you. You can look at your report that Motivation Code gives you. You can take elements of that and make sure that your previous jobs experiences that you have listed on your resume highlight what you did there in a way that your motivational dimensions are mentioned, that they are highlighted, that if you are an optimizer or an orchestrator, that the activities you've done at previous jobs actually highlight those types of activities. In that way, you're taking what is listed in the job description. You've seen those types of things in the job description. You take your resume, you highlight how you have been fulfilled by your motivational dimensions in the past, and those things start to align. When you start doing that, when you take the job descriptions that actually have words that mention things that are in your motivational dimension, and then you highlight your previous jobs, how you really were fulfilled by those motivational dimensions, and line those things up, those initial recruiters who are screening are going to see those types of alignments, and it's more likely that they're going to select your resume for at least a second look. And of course, you are ensuring you're not wasting anybody's time. You're going through the process of lining yourself up for a job that is more fulfilling for you. Here's the thing. Hiring managers are looking for someone who is going to last. They don't want someone who's only going to be there for 6 months. They want to have someone who's going to be there for the long haul, someone that they can invest in. And so they are looking for those kinds of markers on your resume, in your cover letter, in your job experience that showcases that you are the right person for the job. Knowing your motivations helps you focus on roles that are really going to work for you. If you're a relator and you are doing things that have nothing to do with people, it's just not going to work. It's not going to be fulfilling for you. You might get a great paycheck and it might help support your family, but do you really long-term want to do something that isn't fulfilling to you? It's not going to last. Better to find those jobs and apply to those jobs in a way that hiring managers can really see that you're going to be fulfilled doing the job at hand. Now, let's say you get a call. It's time for that interview. Your experience and all of those keywords are there, highlighting that you are motivated by the same things that a recruiter is looking for. So it's time to show up to an interview. How do you really interview and highlight the fact that you understand how you're motivated and you're going to bring your A game and be a high performer for an organization? When you start hearing questions about where you see yourself in 5 years, you can now tailor your responses in a way that you can really highlight who you are and how you're going to find fulfillment. Before you ever meet with the interviewer, be well versed in the stories, the experiences that you've had that really are foundational to understanding how you are motivated. This is going to set you apart and differentiate you from any of the other applicants for that job. Think about it. How many other people are visionaries like you who are coming to Motivation Code to really fully understand themselves? Probably not that many. Just the fact that you would come to an interview with experiences and an understanding of how those experiences lead into understanding your motivations, just the fact that you would show up to a job interview, understanding your motivational dimensions, understanding how you're motivated and have the stories to back those up, is going to differentiate you from any of the other people who are interviewing for that job. And of course, when you are interviewing, you have an opportunity to really ask some questions of the interviewer, to ask them more about the role, about the job, and about the organization and the culture. So you can ask types of questions that align with your motivation. If you are a relator and that it's very important for you to have good connections with the people you work with, you can ask questions about how that organization supports the people and what would be expected of the person in this role in terms of their support of other people in that department, on that team. When you start asking those types of questions, you can get information back that can either be a red flag where you say, oh, wow, relating to other people is not important at all to this organization and their culture really isn't a fit. Basically raising those red flags so that you have all the information you need to make a good decision. Or they're going to take a look at you and say, hey, wow, relating to other people and supporting other team members. Being a team player is very important for our organization, and this person sees that as well. Boy, we want to jump on this person. It is really going to highlight you as someone who is self-aware. There's nothing more attractive to an HR person than someone who understands themselves, why they are looking for a job, what fulfills them, and aligning all of those values with the organization. It's just going to tick all of their boxes, and they're going to bring you to a second interview. Remember, the goal here is not to just land any job. It's not about the salary. It's not about the benefits. It's about finding a role where you can thrive. If you can thrive and contribute meaningfully to an organization, then your opportunities for promotion, your opportunities to contribute, your opportunities to really go somewhere within an organization and open up new opportunities for yourself is just going to expand. But you have to know who you are. You have to put yourself in the right position where you can thrive. The only way to really do that is to know yourself, know how you're motivated, and to show up fully 100% in who you really are. Let's walk through all of the motivational dimensions and what you should be focusing on. If you have already taken Motivation Code assessment, you can jump to whichever motivational dimension is primary, secondary, and tertiary. You know yourself. You know where you really feel at home. For me, it's my top 3 really tell the story of who I am. So my third one, we'll start with that, achiever. Now, if you're an achiever, you know that you are motivated by a drive for excellence and challenging goals. So you want a job that's going to do that. You're also going to want to look for roles that offer a clear path for advancement and recognition, because you know as an achiever, if you don't get your recognition, if you don't have a challenge, if you aren't given the opportunity to be a high performer, you're not going to find fulfillment. So as an achiever, you'll want to do that. Now, if you're a driver, now, drivers are exceptional when it comes to overcoming obstacles and meeting challenges head on. So you should seek positions that offer autonomy and the opportunity to drive projects forward. So if you have driver as one of your top 3, make sure that that's part of the role that you are seeking. Now, influencer, that's my second one. Showcase your ability to persuade and inform and inspire others. You are motivated by showing people a new way of doing things. You need to aim for a role in marketing, sales, or a leadership role where your persuasive skills can shine. So if persuasion and influencing others and really getting a message across to other people is important to you as an influencer, make sure that that is a key part of the job that you're doing. Now, it doesn't have to mean that you're going into marketing or sales. It can also mean that you're a content creator or that you're a part of a team that has a vision and you're communicating that vision within a team. Just make sure that that element is somewhere in the inclusion within that job. If you're a learner, you love to learn new things. For learners, emphasize your passion for continuous learning and for skill development, that you like to go deep in learning something so that you can come up from those depths and inspire and educate others. So you want to look for companies that value professional development and offer opportunities for growth, because if you're not growing, a learner is not going to find fulfillment. Optimizers, I value you guys so much because you do things that I can't do. Optimizers are amazing at improving processes and systems, so you need to look for roles in operations, quality assurance, process improvement, or any part of a team. You could be in sales and marketing, but you find just new ways of doing things that optimize processes, even if it's just something like making sure that all of the social posts go out at the same time across all of the networks and those processes are all optimized. Just make sure optimization is something that you not only highlight and bring to the table, but that it's a part of the job. Now, if you're an orchestrator, you want to highlight your strategic planning and coordination skills. sales. You are those amazing people who can see what sales and marketing is doing, see what product is doing, and bring everything together. You're great at project management, leadership roles where you can bring various elements together, cross-functional types of activities. You're going to want to find jobs that offer that or need that as a part of the role. And you want to make sure that your resume is highlighting that you're very good at that and you find fulfillment there. And in the conversations with recruiters, with HR people, with people who are going to be your boss, you highlight how much you are excited at doing those types of things. If you're a relator, you love strong relationships, and organizations are healthier when you're in them. You're going to want to highlight those things in your resume. You're going to want to put those types of things into conversations, mention those types of things in conversations with recruiters, HR, and people who are hiring you. Make sure you bring up how being a relator has driven better outcomes in the organizations where you've had a key role. If you're a visionary like myself, you want to highlight opportunities where you have had creative thinking, where you've said, what if we do this thing? What if we call it this? What if we got all of these people involved? You want to seek roles where you have an opportunity to innovate. Seek roles where they're just doing something completely new and they have big ideas of what could happen, and you're the one that's going to make those types of things happen. You're going to come up with the strategy. You're going to come up with creative ideas. You would work really well in a creative field where big picture thinking is valued. So as you continue your job search, take time to really reflect on what motivates you. And if you haven't taken Motivation Code as an assessment yet to really understand yourself, this video has probably highlighted how it can be incredibly useful to find a job that's fulfilling to you and hopefully is very rewarding to you as well. Having all of this self-knowledge, being armed with this information, means you're going to be better able to really highlight what you're good at in an interview. You're going to be able to create a resume that's really going to highlight what you bring to the table, and it's going to help you make better career decisions going forward. You're going to make better decisions about what fulfills you. You're going to say no to the jobs that don't, and you're going to just live a better life. If this video was helpful to you, leave us a comment down below, thumbs up, subscribe if you like this content and you'd like more of it. And if you are looking for a job, we hope this video is helpful for you in honing in on what you're good at, what fulfills you, so you can land the dream job that you've been looking for. Thanks for watching.